Hi, everyone. I'm Matt Gardner, certified financial planner and host of Motivate Your Money. I am joined today by the one and only Rita Cheng, certified financial planner and an overall thought leader in the financial services wealth management space. Rita, thanks for joining today.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I am a CFP pro, but there's also something that we share. Not only are we CFP pros, but we're terrapins,
Go
Maryland
Terps!
terrapins. Go Terps! Terrapins in the
For
house.
sure, for sure. So Rita,
So
tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us a little bit about your firm. The topic of today is going to be the top three. We call it 3-pointers. That's the name of the program that we're on today. But let the audience know a little bit about you, please.
So I am Margarita Cheng. My firm, Blue Ocean Global Wealth, is based in Gaithersburg, Maryland. That's right here in the DMV. That's DC, Maryland, Virginia. As mentioned, I'm a TERP. I graduated from the University of Maryland. I absolutely love being a certified financial planner because I believe financial planning transforms lives. I decided to become a CFP pro after the birth of my second child. I have 3 kids, and I think that we are all on a mission to change conversations about wealth and money, money and wealth.
Amen. Amen. So, Rita, I like to say that there's a top three for everything, right? There's a top three for sodas, for cereals, for cars. And so, what I'd like for us to discuss today is your top three, the top three piece of advice that you either give to clients, share with people on passing, or maybe, words of wisdom that you've lived yourself. So, would love to hear your top three. If you can list them off to us, and then we'll jump into them a little bit. So what are your top three?
So top three, number one is a lot of people say, I don't have money to save or invest, but I'm here to tell you, you need to save and invest so you can have money.
Good
That's
point.
one, right? Number two, it is not trying to time the markets. It's always a good time to invest, but it's really the time you are in the markets. And
Great
then
point.
three, we know about investment diversification. Of course we do. But there's tax diversification. There's taxable, tax deferred, and tax free. And I want to talk to you today about taking advantage of those tax free accounts.
Fascinating, fascinating. I don't think a lot of people really do focus on that tax aspect of the money, but it's a very important one. All right. So let's start off with point one. You talk about folks say, I don't have enough money. Tell me a little bit about point one. What does that mean to you?
So, point one, especially if we're thinking about retirement, I know it's hard for us, especially for Gen Z who are graduating. They're thinking, why should I save for retirement? That's for old folks. It's not about retirement, it's about building wealth for your future. And we do need to teach people how to save because those habits will follow them and they can be good investors. So, a lot of times people think, you know what, I don't have a lot of money to invest. But actually, the only way you're going to have a lot of money is by investing. So, we need savings for any emergencies or opportunities that arise in the short term. Savings are liquid, accessible, but investing, it can fluctuate in the short term. I am not going to misrepresent, but investments are designed to appreciate at a rate faster than inflation over the long term. So savings and investing. And you may not think you have money to save and invest, but it is only by savings and investing that you will have wealth.
I love that train of thought. I often tell people that, your money can work harder for you than you can work for your money. Your money growing over time and working for you is how you get those long-term growth, that long-term capital appreciation. And it doesn't have to be a big chunk of money. It can just be small amounts that you start off with, but having that habits, the behaviors, the traits, starting early, to your point, I think makes a lot of sense. All right, so let's talk about point number two, about timing the market. And you mentioned something earlier, a term earlier. I don't want to steal your thunder, but tell us a little bit about point number two.
So point number two, I do believe it is always a good time to invest. I'm a mom of 3. Now, do I think you should be putting your high school juniors college money in S&P 500 when enrollment is less than a year away, or the deposits? No, But it makes sense to invest with a long-term perspective. It's not trying to time the market. Is now a good time, but it's really the time you're in the market. You have to give yourself time to build wealth. And one of the easiest ways that we can do this is starting with modest amounts, doing a strategy called dollar cost averaging. That's just a fancy way. It's a term for saying investing regular amounts on a systematic basis, or fixed amounts or regular amounts on a consistent basis. And you can start with as little as $50 a month. So I love this strategy because it does take a lot of the emotion out of investing. You're going to buy on the low when it's low and when it's high. Now, if you get to buy in that dip, of course, you're excited because you get to buy more shares on the dip. But if you buy when it's high, you're also going to be excited because your existing shares appreciate. So I feel like this is a win-win strategy.
Definitely is. And I think one of the key points in your points that you're sharing with the audience here is understanding that the goal must align with the financial tool, right? The dollar cost averaging that you're talking about is typically, say, 401k plans. It could be after tax accounts as well, but those are the types of accounts where the goal is a long-term one. So you're right. You got to keep putting money in. Now, you don't, if it's a short-term goal and you need the money within the next sort of year to 2 years, you definitely don't want to be looking at investing and putting your capital at risk. But for long-term goals, I love that. Dollar cost averaging, taking advantage of the market when it's up and when it's down. Great points. All right. Point number 3, Rita, hit us with it.
So point number 3 is tax diversification. And I know many of us have tax deferred accounts, but I also want people to think about some taxable accounts and tax-free accounts. And the reason why we need all of these accounts is I think about the goal of college. If all of our children's education savings is in tax-free accounts, that is amazing. We can pull that money out in tax-free basis. But guess what? We cannot use tax credits on tax-free money. Now, some people may say I might not be eligible to use any education credits because I make too much money, and that very well may be the case. But the reason why also having some taxable money is important is this is what I call the lifestyle abridged fund. It has a longer time horizon than your cash reserve, but it has a shorter time horizon than your retirement accounts. And then tax-free, of course, everyone likes tax-free. There's Roth IRAs, there's Roth 401ks, and there's 529 plans. And it can be incredibly important to have some tax savings today. That's when we talk about tax deferred. You get instant gratification, but it's also exciting to have some tax-free savings in the future.
For sure. I think Roth IRAs are one of those tools that a lot of young people can really take advantage of. Of course, who knows what the rules will be years from now, but the ability to have that tax deferred growth and the ability to take it out tax-free, of course, have to hold it for 5 years plus and all that good stuff. But I think a lot more people, Rita, should be aware of the tax code and how the benefits that are available through certain accounts, difference between a qualified and non-qualified account, how over time the power of triple compounding, as I've heard people say, what's triple compounding? Well, you're getting interest on the money you put in, you're getting interest on the interest, but you're also getting interest on the money that you would have paid taxes on. So a lot of these tax deferred accounts allow for that, which I think is phenomenal. So Rita, if you could, please run through your top 3 one more time for us, and to reiterate these great nuggets of wisdom that you share with your clients and you share with people on your regular basis, please.
So the first one is you may think you don't have money to invest, but in order to have money, you need to invest. Right. And I'm so glad I got it right. And I didn't stutter. 2, it's not about trying to time the market. It's the time in your market. So no market timing, it's the time in the market. And then 3, take advantage of tax diversification with a particular emphasis on tax-free. I think that those top 3 will really put you on the path to success. It is never too early and it's never too late to take advantage of a Roth IRA. My daughter is 17. The first summer she worked, It was during the pandemic. She didn't earn a lot, but she earned enough to make a $500 contribution to a Roth IRA. That was her first summer because remember, the pools weren't open. I also helped a 70-year-old client open a Roth IRA. So it is truly never too early and it's never too late.
You know what? I can't think of any other words of wisdom or mag nugget to close out this segment other than that. So, Rita, again, you have been a beacon of knowledge in our industry for many years, for so many causes. Thank you so much for sharing your 3-pointers with us today. And as I like to say, the journey continues. And one more thing, folks, whatever motivates you, motivate your money. Have a good one, everyone. Thanks, Rita.